Well, out of that coal and back into the heat again for this second half. Just a 1 point between them. Catalan 7, Hull 8, low-scoring game. In part due to the conditions. A lot of mistakes here today. It is a slippery ball because of the sweat that is being produced by both sides, working hard to try and dominate. Brian Noble, how do we see this second half going here?
Well, both teams probably need a little bit of improvement. I think Hull will be really pleased with where they're at. I think they'll just rock it out, as we say, and get to the right end of the field. I think both teams would have spoken about it, but it's the team that's going to execute their plan the better. You know, when Catalan explode into football, that's when Hull have to hang on. And alternatively, if Hull get to the right parts of the field, I think they've looked dangerous. And there's the first one.
And Lynch just knocked on. Yeah, Jamal Fakir has dropped on it. Oh, and now he's given a penalty. Well, he's given a penalty. I'm not sure whether that was a late decision, but it is a penalty. And while he kicks this to touch, let's hear from Tony Arnold, who's got some injury news down on the touchline.
Not injury news, Dave. The messages from the two half-times. Brian pretty much read what the whole dressing room had been saying, which was more of the same. Keep the pressure up. They're very positive. Force the errors. From Catalan, they need more energy, more effort, and to reduce the errors to get them more precious. They're saying they're in a vicious circle.
Here comes Leroy galloping forward. It was Andy Lynch, the latest man to fail to keep hold of this ball. Pelissier now picks up from dummy half, up to the 40 metres. What a start here, because that is only tackle 1. The first was a 0 tackle. So 5 from here. And look at the energy now. Taya to this left-hand side. Milan. Dragged high, was he? No, he wasn't. Not from the referee's point of view. Taya picks up. This is Price. On comes Jamal Fakir, who hammers it forward again. Good response in defence from Danny Tickle, who came across with that left shoulder. Pelissier. Giroud. Just timing that pass. But Hull's defence hanging on here. Desperate they do in these opening 2 minutes. Scott Giroud stepping to the left, a hand offered by Whiting. Lafini Pia offloads and touchdown by Morgan Escarre. Hull's defence unpicked in these early moments. Morgan Escarre is the man who's into the dazzling headlights, but Lafini Pia did ever so well there.
Well, he could have got over himself, and his unselfish play, he made sure this Giroud gets the money ball to pair on the inside, and the offload was it slightly forward. Escarre sniffing around like all good fullbacks do. So Giroud comes back on the inside, exploits the Lynch that misses the play. Yeah, that's a fair try.
And Richard Whiting's role here.
Yeah, I just couldn't quite work out who was on the inside that Paya Giroud beat with the inside ball. And it's just the worst players, the one at the other end on player 1 from the restart of a tap, the drop ball which gave them the whole field position. Just the start the Catalans wanted.
Well, what a year he's having. Morgan Escarre, little known outside this particular region at the start of 2013. But my word, he's a headline grabber as the season goes on and on. 17 tries in 17 appearances now for Morgan Escarre. We'll see him in the World Cup. Certain of that as a potential French star. Here comes Scott Giroud to add the 2, which gives his side a 13 points to 8 lead. So it is still tight, it's still tense.
It's Whiting that gets exposed in the middle, isn't it? He overreads the play, overreads, goes hard as Whiting to fully intercept, really. It's a dangerous play going for an intercept on your own line. And Pia, you've got to say, it's the money ball because he gets it to Escarre. Escarre is Johnny on the spot to finish it off.
So here's Westerman with the restart. It's a little bit of history, by the way. Catalan, when they reached the final in 2007, beat Hull at this stage of the competition. That was at Hull, though. There's another knock-on. Yes, it is. Knock-on, so Hull get the ball back straight away.
Well, Paya had done the tough things. He hit the line as hard as he could and looked like he was trying to get his hand free to offload against it. He'd done a big bit there. And that's good work from the Hull defence. They're vigorous there and give themselves a fabulous opportunity to turn tail straight away.
Okay, listen to the out call before you break. Onside.
There's Bengalé with his ice pack. And here comes Yeaman.
It'd be interesting to have a look at the tally count on the bench of who can go back, because interchange might make a huge part in this game.
This is Miller. Now Gareth Ellis. didn't have the best of games when Hull played here back at the start of June. Houghton, Westerman, mind you, not many Hull players did that day. Here comes Miller, back to Heremiah. Heremiah now on. McDonald will take on the line, and offers it to Lynham. And the form he's in, Tom Lynham this season, was never going to miss from that opportunity. So as quickly as Catalan scored in this second half, just as quickly Hull have provided the perfect response.
Oh, they're just a little bit passive on the fringe, weren't they, the French? I thought they could have been a whole lot more powerful, because Hull had passed before the line and given the opportunity to move on here, and just back off, and back off, don't they? Just keep Donald with injection of pace and line them up. But when you're that big and they're that strong, you ain't going to be stopped from there. So it's a little bit like a snowball coming down the hill. It's too big when it's rolled down that far. You've got to get up and knock his knees together and wait before the line. So I'd be disappointed that will Laurent Fraisinier will be straight back in the game for Hull. It's tit for tat. Start the second half.
13-12, Tickle's kick to come. The difference between leading and losing this particular kick. And we talk about young players who've made big impressions this season, and we talked a little bit about them before the game kicked off, but Ben Crooks and Tom Lynham, that right-hand side centre-wing partnership, Crooks not necessarily involved there, but Lynham with a finish. Those two have been an absolute breath of fresh air for Hull FC, haven't they?
They've lifted, when there's been a little bit gloomy over there at FC, they've lifted it, haven't they?
Musk not involved today. Danny Tickle just taking a measure of this. Took over the kicking duties from Westerman when he came on the pitch a short while ago, or a short while into the first half. Left-footed kicker, so he does curl this one into the posts, which might be to his advantage, but he's not curled it quite enough. So it remains a Catalan lead by 13 points to 12.
Well, they execute a play here, Hull, but it is manageable. But it's the speed of Donald that gets Lynham over the line there, and the short pass is too hard to stop from there. But 2 tries on the back of 2 1 errors, if we're honest. Gives them some free field position, and it's hard to defend the line in this weather.
Well, just a try apiece in the first half, but we've had a try apiece already in the early stages of this second half. So the suggestion is it's going to be a much more free-scoring game as the match winds on. It's Lynch. Here's Danny Houghton. Plays his part in attack, but boy, does he play his part in defence as well, doesn't he, Danny Houghton? He is a prolific tackler.
Looks like he's going to have to go 80 as well, isn't he?
Very often doesn't he? He's never present this season as well.
Tough kid.
Here's Briscoe. Running into the welcoming arms of Taylor and Peer and Leroy. Houghton again. Just about got the kick away before the kick pressure was made to tell. Here's Blanche. And Catalan start, well, I was going to say just short of the 40, but look at this. They're going to start not far away from the 20 at the end of that tackle.
They took him back 12 metres, and that's great work from Westerman and Ellis and Whiting. And now they'll be looking to restrict the French team, and they're all offside on the short side.
Well, it's going to take 3 tackles to get to the point where they should have been after just the 1.
And they've done so well with the kick pressure, as it enabled Blanche to kick the ball.
Oh, Jamal Fakir, it hurts just watching him, doesn't it? You want to wince.
To play the position he plays, you've got to have that element of recklessness and, you know, scant regard for your own safety in a lot of respects.
Millard plays, Taya puts it onto Price. Price gets the kick away before Crooks gets to him. Down it comes. Taken well enough by Shannon MacDonald, even though it was a steeplingly big kick. And Pelissier had put a very good run in. But look at Catalan's defence stepping up here. 2 tackles gone, and Hull only 5 from their own line. Briscoe will have a go. Out they come, and back he goes into the own in-goal. And to be tackled on tackle 3 in your own in-goal area tells you an awful lot about the effort of the defence.
Magnificent effort from the Catalans. Magnificent tackle here from, is it Dupont? It drags him back, because that's danger when Tom Lynham's running across there. He gets them the outside of Dupont, and he's gone, trust me. That's 3 great tackles, and we saw that from Hull on the start of that set from the Catalan. Anything you can do, we can do better.
How are you coping in the heat, by the way? Tough day for a big fella like you, isn't it? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Keep drinking plenty of water. Here comes the kick. Escarre picks up. Driven back by Casti. And the crowd just settled themselves here for another wave of atmosphere provided on the back of what's going to be a big effort here from Catalan on attack. Hull being asked an awful lot of questions in these next 4 tackles. Henderson, Giroud, dummies to Tyre, then drops it out of Escarre. A little over-elaborate.
Well, he wasn't there, and it's the no-look pass to, I think, when a no-look pass to no-look anybody, because he's just too far away as Escarre, and he needed to turn his shoulder a little bit more, Juro, and fire the pass back to him, and ball was always going away from him.
So a return of the mistakes. I don't think they'll ever be too far away.
Listen to the outcome. Yep. Get in.
For the sake of those watching who don't know the history of this Catalan club, it's not an expansion team in terms of rugby league, because this is very much a rugby league heartland, isn't it? It's Catalan's position in the Super League is owed to the fact that there are 2 clubs, Tres Catalan and Sant Esteve, who merged some years ago with the sole intention of joining the English Super League, and that's what happened. They've been very successful. And here they are again, Leroyer. Here's Henderson. This is Giroud. That's Casti. It was caught
he's a penalty.
Westerman.
Probably not as bad as it looks.
Well, the locals are baying for blood. I think they want to see a card of one colour or another. There is a growing feeling in these parts that they do get picked on by the officials, don't they? Whether it be a video referee or players sin-binned and sent off in what the locals think are entirely unjustified circumstances.
Well, it's the footwork that does Westerman, and it needs to be a little bit better than that.
I'm very proud of the fact that he signed for the NRL, the Catalan club, Remy Casti, for next season. 2-year deal down under with his former coach, of course, Trent Robinson. So the penalty gives them a chance to kick for touch and a tap restart 15 metres away from where they want to be. Here's Giroud. Oh, and it's dropped again. Simon, I think, this time. Well, it's error after error in a match that's proving very, very scrappy in the heat and humidity.
Well, let's have a look at this one. It's just impact on the ball.
We talk about the Catalan side being used to these conditions. Somebody was saying a little earlier it's been a rather cool summer from a Perpignan perspective, so maybe they're not used to these conditions because they are fairly recent.
Well, there's a huge tip. If you hit the ball with your shoulder, you can force an error. We've got around 50 minutes of it now.
Bastille Day tomorrow in France, of course, and there's a huge party planned locally here tonight in celebration of that. I think it might be fuelled just a little if this side, the Catalan side, can make their way to the semi-finals. At Hull, hoping to be party poopers. This is Houghton. From dummy half from just short of the halfway line. Macquarie very relieved to see that ball topple and tipple its way.
It's not about tactic from Hull. I'd be tempted to kick, with the big size of the French pack, I'd be tempted just to keep turning them round.
Well, I wanted the quick one, but Richard Silverwood pointing out that Henderson was in front of him, so he has to take it again.
I think it was the fact that he wasn't on the mark.
Henderson. We talked about the effort in defence from Catalan a short while ago. What about this from Hull? They started on the 20 and 2 tackles later. They're still on the 20. But they go a little wider. Here's Tyre.
3. Move! On the go, wait. Go. 3.
Oh, there's suddenly room. Well manoeuvred down this left-hand side for Bakary to have a go. Has to come inside to beat McDonald. Runs into Miller. Will stop there. But here we go. This is Price. Now it's Menzies. Menzies with the offload. Delightfully so.
Great tackle.
Duport stopped very effectively by Briscoe. Giroud puts it high on the final tackle. He's taken late, or at least that's a local claim. Superb catch in the air. They keep it alive here. Still the 6th tackle. Still Catalan search. Escarre out to his left-hand side. Fumbled by Freddie Bakary. And out of play. And they're still claiming that they should have had a penalty, Catalan, for the late take on Giroud.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was a penalty, but it was a fabulous short-side play, wasn't it? Great break from the Catalan team. Duport flying away. Watch this. Comes late and arrives late, and he's gone. This is Bakary, isn't he? Gone. Got the support, just couldn't quite get free, and they say it's a fair tackle from.
Yeah, hold. Let's go. Come on. Go.
It's a real lung-busting effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, McDonald as well to get to him, doesn't he?
A reminder, by the way, that tomorrow you can see the second quarter-final. Warrington against Huddersfield. That should be an absolute cracker between two sides who occupy 2 of the top 3 spots in Super League. 4 o'clock it starts, and then the semi-final draw takes place straight afterwards. We already know London are in it. One of these two, Warrington or Huddersfield, and Wigan or Widnes, of course, who play on Monday night. Here's Watts. This is Danny Houghton. Oh, a little bit of a gap behind that rock, and a good offload as well. Here's McDonald. Cleverly worked here by Hull. Had he been able to get it wide, there was an overlap, but the 2 defenders advancing quickly.
Is it the new challenge? Okay, is it the new challenge?
Miller's kick taken by Bakary. Price. Well, there's some hard yards to be made here, and that's the easiest way to give up possession. Another mistake. Damien Blanche this time. It was the messiest of play-the balls, wasn't it?
It was. And that's the vigour of Hull's defence. They really are front-loading their effort. And every day of the week is either a drop ball or a knock-on from the dummy half as well. So good field position now for Hull.
I'm sure these records aren't kept, but if they were, this is perhaps the most mistake-ridden Challenge Cup game of the year so far. There's been so many mistakes. You're pulling your face.
I just don't know where you would pull that stat from, is what I'm saying. Who do you ask about that one?
There'll be someone somewhere with that kind of negativity to sit down and make a note. Here's Crooks. Good footwork by him, but defenders were there. This is Danny Houghton. Miller.
2. Move!
Tickle wants to get up and play this as quickly as he can. Houghton again. Watts. Oh, that was a poor pass from him, and Henderson picking up on that mistake. Here's Menzies. It's a game with plenty of tension, but without any flow. It's another penalty.
Well, he's got the double whammy there, Watts. He's dropped the ball and given Catalan the ball and on a poor pass, and then he's given the penalty away. So, gosh, it's tough in this weather doing those kind of things. But both sides are just... Who's going to look after it? The first team that controls it for a couple of sets is going to come up with something here, Dave.
Well, the Catalan supporters getting in good voice again here. Henderson. Leroy.
Leon Price has been suspiciously quiet. I reckon if you got him in at dummy half, he could cause some real problems. Here he is on the ball.
Well, here
now.
it comes now. Yeah, it's the pass to Tyre there. Tyre with a twist. Escarre was looming, but not quickly enough. I think Jeremiah might be hurt here as well. And Tickle has stayed down too. This could be a double whammy for Hull. because they have 2 players down. Jeremiah. And the suspicion here is Jeremiah's head has hit Tickle's leg.
Well, there's the error.
That was a knock-on. Yeah. In the hands of our French hosts here. See if they provide us with a replay of the moment that caused this bit of strife here. So Aaron Jeremiah.
There we go. A clash of heads, or on his knee, on the side of his head. Taya's complaining that he didn't have any support because he got his hands free. There he is, but...
Well, here's another concern. Oh, there's a clash of heads with Danny Tickle. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Well, a double concern. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. In the short term, it's one of their middlemen, one of their playmakers, and obviously they'll miss him from that point of view. But over the longer term, with the interchanges, if he's forced off on a permanent basis here.
And that's one of the questions I asked when we came back on air in the second half is who has the most interchanges left to try and change the game later on. And the injuries, I was specifically thinking about Galea. Could he go back, etc., etc. And, you know, if they lose Jeremiah here, then obviously the obvious candidate to go into the house would be Richard Whiting and with Jacob Miller. But it definitely means that Danny Houghton doesn't get a rest. So they'll have to do it tough, Hull.
The interchanges at the moment, the Catalan have used 7 and Hull have used 6.
Soon to be 7 would be my guess. He doesn't look very well, does he?
No.
Keep his eyes peeled off the balls.
Bang. Oof. On the top of his scone.
Most carries of the day, by the way, from Catalan's point of view. Zeb Taya. It's his 14th that he's taken it up today. Confirmation for the bench that Bengalea is definitely not, is definitely not coming back on.
Heads in, Danny. Okay. Ball in. Out. Time back on. Come on, boys.
Good tackle.
Jeremiah, for the time being, stays on.
Hold, go.
Here's Watts.
2. Move, oh boys. Wait. Hold.
Danny Houghton.
2.
This is Mark O'Mealy.
3.
He's been driving it in all over the world for a long time now, Mark O'Mealy. He's another in the 30s, 32 years of age. He's retiring at the end of this season. Here's Danny Tickle. Good offload, unless it's picked up by Catalan. It's not. I think there might have been a Catalan touch. We'll give them another set here. Danny Houghton exploiting a little bit of a gap in the middle. And now MacDonald is up there in support and sprinting away to find more support. Had he passed it, Briscoe might have been over. But MacDonald is put down. Options cut down by 2 retreating defenders, but here they come again, Hull. Tickle wants to get it on, does get it on. Quick hands to Westerman. Westerman now out to Crooks. This is a try. Oh, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh.
Just enough work done by Freddie Bakary to prevent Crooks getting a clean pass away to line
just had to back himself, go off the line or pass earlier. Oh, exactly. That's just the way everybody's feeling. Great break up the middle. I was about to say Houghton looks been the most dangerous player at the middle for Hull, and he makes another break, gets hung on to by his breeches. MacDonald supports him, and they've got the clear run in for the score. That's a big let-off for this Catalan team.
How long to go? 20 minutes left to play here.
There's the
story that's still to be told.
Run and pass.
Let's keep going, last 20. 20. Okay.
It's worth reminding you, by the way, that if this is all square at the end of 80 minutes, they go into golden point extra time.
Okay, mate, let's go. Out. Time back on.
Having a drop goal so early in the match kind of suggests there's a less likelihood of extra time, but you never know. Here comes that little run from dummy half by Henderson. Here's Price. Well, they're keeping it alive, but they're not making much yardage forward at the moment. Leroy tries to put that right.
Just for our viewers, if you get 2 or 3 offloads in your exit, you're prepared to play that way, it makes it twice as hard for the defending team. So it will take juice out of the whole team, but they didn't make much progression forwards.
Rather vigorous claims again from the stands that should have been a penalty. Henderson to Teja. Teja left to Millard. The Fijian international. He will be featuring against England in the World Cup as well. This is Giroud finding a position to get that kick away. It's caught by Shannon McDonnell, who, by the way, is eligible for Ireland, so he too could be featuring in the World Cup in the autumn.
10 hold, on the go, go.
Miller. It's now is Lynham, who keeps it alive again. Ellis out to Yeaman. Not too many options on his outside, so back in for Ellis again.
They're both prepared to throw the ball around and they haven't been looking after it too well. Do you know what? It might make the difference. It might be the answer.
Oh, here's Briscoe,
here's an answer.
who's got some space to run into. I think it was Menzies who just grabbed hold of his ankles. It was. But they still have it. They still have it alive. Hull trailing here, but only by the point. And they'll be sniffing a suggestion of glory in this set here. Momentum is with them. Miller. Jeremiah. Over the top. This now is Crooks. Quickly onto Lynham, whose way is equally quickly blocked. Still a couple of tackles to go. Tickle. So it's the last tackle coming up. Miller spinning it high. Briscoe underneath it. I think he might have got a touch. Menzies collects it from an offside position because there was a Catalan touch as well. Or is he saying it's a shoulder charge here?
Yeah, he's saying there's a shoulder charge and it's a penalty.
You blocked him straight in there.
You blocked him straight in there. That's what the referee's saying. Have a look at this. What do you reckon?
On the line.
Well, Duport's not looking at the ball. He's going to defend his player, and as adjudicated, it's a penalty.
It's a bonus for Hull, and it's a terrific position for Hull as well. 18 to go. Houghton, 5 yards away. Miller, Jeremiah. Gets out of one would-be tackle from Teja.
Danger.
Houghton. The real hard labour on the pitch to Mark O'Mealy. One of the muscle men. Houghton bends his back again and spins it out to Miller. Oh, it's an interception, is it? No, it's not. Giroud back into the hands of McDonnell. And Shannon McDonnell will see his side get another set of 6 here.
You've got to tell,
that was a
Dave. He's got to tell. I think he was nearly gone, wasn't he, Juro?
That is Watts, who's put down in the shadows of those sticks. Houghton. O'Mealy has dropped it. Ascari picks it up. And for the umpteenth time today, a team on attack are thwarted by their own clumsy handling.
Well, look what it's taken out of the Catalan team. 5 players on their haunches here, and O'Mealy can't hang on to the ball. Try and route one right over the top of that middle Catalan defence, but gosh, you'd have to say both teams have defended their line really well, haven't they? I had to.
Not mention the heat for 5 minutes, but it's worth repeating, isn't it? That gives you a kind of a visual indication of what they're going through at the moment.
Well, the heat's going up because the sun's come out, believe it or not, later in the day. I just think Houghton and Briscoe have been the dangerous players in this game for Hull. They've created the opportunities, and McDonnell's fed off the back of that and got him into the right parts of the field. They've been ruining the bomb, trying the right-hand side down there for them. And Catalan are just that kind of team that just might jab you with the counter-punch.
And you say Briscoe and Houghton, obviously the dummy half plays. Do you see that becoming more and more prevalent as the game goes on, as defenders tire
well,
in
I
that
just
ruck
think
area?
It's been successful for Hull. We saw in the first half, I thought Whiting found his front, and if you're prepared to be patient in and around there, I think Catalan, even their successes have come from them, marching up the field from those little darts from dummy half.
Getting through a set of 6 is priority number 1 here. Nunes, Henderson, Price, with that step again, but they were waiting.
Move! Onside, Danny! 4, go!
Henderson. Here's Remy Casti. Tough effort from a tough player, but that was tackle 5. So here comes the last. Giroud's going to try and run it a little further. The pass has gone forward, has it? No, it's not. Blanche, therefore, has to put boot to ball because on the 6 he'd run out of options. McDonald.
Move! Back on me. No penalties. Hold. Go. 2. Move!
Angie's got caught out there. I'd be looking down there, Danny. That's it. Run down there.
Oh, here's Houghton again. Again from dummy half. On it goes to Briscoe. Briscoe with a dummy. He really backs himself. And with due confidence. What about that for a try? You called it. Brian Noble called it. That's where the danger was going to come from, and that's where it did come from. Danny Houghton, like lightning from dummy half, despite all the hard labour he's done. And Briscoe with the confidence and the pace to finish it.
Well, he had a player out there as well with just Jeremiah, but he backed himself, and they'd been the 2 most dangerous players, and they show up on the same play. Menzies couldn't get back in the line, so there's space in and around the ruck, and great play from Houghton, great pass. Tom Briscoe, wow, boom, out of a gun, and is that the score that brings the black and whites home?
Well, it certainly gives them the lead. 16 points to 13 now. With a kick in front of the sticks, it will be 18 points to 13. Danny Tickle will go through all due diligence here, all the routine, all the build-up, but he knows, like everybody else, that this is 99.9% certainty, these added 2 points. But it remains a 1-score game. 1 score, a try and a goal for Catalan will put them back in it. Back in front, rather. At 6:35 on a sweltering evening in Perpignan, Laurent Frézineux, with a rather furrowed brow, knows that his side have got a big response to give here. Otherwise, they are going out of the Challenge Cup.
Back on.
Tickles 2 points, makes it 13 for Catalan, 18 for Hull. Time in the game for Catalan to make a winning situation out of a losing one, but Hull with the advantage now.
That was a great break from Danny Houghton. He just deserves all the plaudits for the way he keeps his game going. He spots the hole, creates the hole. Briscoe has the confidence to beat the fullback.
Was going to let it bounce. Oh. Well, what more could I do, he says with arms outstretched, but Westerman had to catch that, hadn't he?
Yeah, he just has to go forward and catch it. He went back 2 paces.
Oh, it's Watts. I do apologise to Joe Westerman. It was Liam Watts, wasn't it?
The minute Sharon McDonald bailed out on that one, Watts wasn't going to catch it. Well, we saw it at the start of the first half, didn't we? An error from player 1 from the Catalan allows Hull into their half. It's a fair kick, that one, though.
But when it's driven back here by Mikel Simon, as long as he keeps hold of it, Catalan start the set inside their opponent's half. Here's Giroud. Casti. Good strong leg drive by Remy Casti as well.
It's good front row, isn't it?
Henderson. This is Giroud. Now it's Teyer on this left-hand flank. Down that channel in which he loves to run and which he has galloped several times so far in this game. Giroud. Muniz. Gregory Muniz. One of those survivors from that 2007 Cup final. Would love to repeat the experience of that day. Henderson again. Giroud. This is Price. Here's Escaré. Jiggle the hips, but to no great advantage to his side. Now, what's been given here? The touch judge is on this near side. Robert Hicks, the touch judge on this near side, is coming on.
Has he been whacked off the ball, Giroud?
And they're asking Steve Ganson, the video referee, to have a look at this as well.
Oh, yeah, it's late, isn't it?
It's a late challenge.
On the back of the head.
Yeah. Chris Green.
Given a penalty.
Well, Chris Green has been the beneficiary of one Steve Ganson decision this year, but not that one. It means that Catalan will get a set of 6 here. And here's Simon with a drive 10 metres away. What a moment this is in this game. Catalan with 5 more tackles to come, and Hull desperate to hang on again here. Giroud to Price to Teyer. Good work in defence from Jeremiah. Another penalty.
It was.
The flop after the tackle was completed. Henderson with a tap. Here comes Casti. Hull drained of energy. But Casti's got that ball away to Henderson. Great response on the Hull defence, by the way. But what about that offload from Remy Casti?
Yeah.
Real sleight of hand.
Took Henderson by surprise, where he may have buried his way over.
Simon to Price. Menzies. Hull's defence numbering up.
Great
Back to
offload.
Menzies again. It's as good as another tackle, an offload like that. Hull's defence being made to work overtime here. Already doubling up. This is Teyer again. 2 tackles gone. It seems an age before Hull can get the ball back in their hands. They've got 4 more tackles to make here. No, they don't, because Casti's knocked on. Well, what a big, big relief for that Hull defence.
That just might be the try-saving tackle on the inside on Casti there. They're trying to squeeze it on. Watts gets across and forces it. A great tackle underneath, I think. Is it that man again, Danny Houghton, is it? It's a great tackle underneath. Dislodges the ball from Casti.
It's worth singing his praises, Danny Houghton, because try scorers and goal kickers always get the real headlines, don't they? But his defending, his tackling, Danny Houghton, is absolutely prolific. Before this game, he'd made 882 tackles in 21 Super League games. And if you're wondering about the context of that, the next highest tackler in the whole team is Andy Lynch, who's a worker, who only made 546. He's made 280 tackles, nearly more than his nearest rival, so to speak, in that whole team. And he still does his work from dummy half as well.
Well, he's made the difference offensively, hasn't he? Every break they've made, he's been at the heart of.
Wait. He's like that. Get your head in. Okay. Out! Time back on.
This is Catalan's 100th tackle of the game, by the way, continuing those stats. Hull have had to make 131 so far.
Michael, hold.
Here's Danny Houghton.
Go, 1.
This is Whiting.
2.
He's an oft underrated player, isn't he, Richard Whiting?
It shows up. He's one of those people that you have in your squad, and he's quality all the time. He does things. What price of Houghton run again now?
Here is Danny Houghton. Green lifted in the air. He's lost possession as he did so. It's the advantage play. The advantage play. Well, they're groaning and moaning, the Catalan fans, because they thought that was an attempt at giving the ball away. I don't think they realise this new advantage rule is in play, because as soon as Catalan tried that, everybody started booing because they thought their side had given it up. Maybe they're a little more content now when they realise it's still head and feet to their side.
But they've got to find a bit of composure here, I think. I think the Hull are defending magnificently. I really do. They're having to do when this kind of play comes into their equation.
A lot of Catalonian palms, slapped a lot of Catalonian heads there, and they're still doing it. But 18-13, Hull lead. 10 minutes left to play. Give or take the odd 10 seconds. This is Price. And another set that could prove mightily significant in the context of this game. Here comes Teyer.
2. Move and get square. Hold.
Henderson a chance to have a look around right and left. Would have wanted it played quicker. Here comes Giroud. This is Casti again with another urge and a surge. Hull's defenders keen to make sure he can't get the offload away. Tackles are counting down slowly. Henderson, Giroud, Menzies. It's a penalty for Catalan. It's another set of 6, 10 metres from that Hull line.
Well, they begin every opportunity, haven't they, the Catalan? And I just think it's either been an off, or here we see Henderson's hit late off the ball by, I can see who it was. Oh, it's
Westerman.
Joe Westerman. And it's a shoulder charge, which is a penalty anyway, even if he was on time.
Here's Peyer. How much stomach have you got for defence was the question asked there. Plenty was the black and white response. Muniz trying to twist around, and still they scramble and work hard on their own line. Now it's Henderson to feed it on to another willing runner. Twisted a turn, but look how many are swarming around him. 3 in the first instance, 5 by the time the tackle's complete. Giroud, so they go wide. Menzies out, Dupont, and they're still there in numbers. It's a terrific effort.
Great defence from Hull.
On their own line, when it hurts harder than ever. Teya on this left-hand side. And Jeremiah this time is the hero in black and white. That's 5. What about the 6th? Henderson. Price with a kick. Down it comes. Good take by Blanche, but on the 6th. And the tackle completed before he can get it away. And Hull FC deserve a huge round of applause from the way they defended that.
They've done great. I just think the difference in this game, anybody that finds a quick play of the ball and the whole world opens up, because it's a hot, slow day. Everybody find some wins, find some. And we've seen how make breaks. Great leap here from Blanche. Just got to get rid of the ball on the bottom of it and couldn't. Elbows touch the ground. The right call from the referee.
It is still a game to be won and lost. Hull hanging on in valiant style. And bringing it forward now with some relief and some relish. Westerman on tackle 3. Houghton the acting half. Lynch is back on the field. Here comes Miller. Slips when he gets it away, but he does get it away. Escarre just suggesting he might try one over the top. Percentage ball said keep hold of it, and he did. Here comes Vakary.
They've worked really well out of marker, haven't they? Hull. Part and parcel of their game plan has been to stifle any opportunities that the Catalans have had at dummy half, and just one-up carries now from the French.
It's Blanche who's put down. 7 minutes left to play. Here comes Leon Price. Now it's Teya. Oh, and Jeremiah again.
Knocked on.
Knocking on. Jeremiah's tackle around the ankles. Well, he's put a defensive stint in here today, hasn't he?
They all have. It's hard to single anybody out, but oh, word, they all have. He's nearly through this hole, isn't he, Teya? Jiggles the ball there, trying to get it free again.
Well, Mark Chapman made a very good point before. Well, I think it was a half-time, wasn't it? On a day like this, when it gets to this stage of a match, when you have to lift yourself, when you're chasing a game, it's so much harder than when you're in the driving seat.
Keep it quick, no penalties. Last 6 minutes. Okay, mate.
And it's Hull in the driving seat. But knowing that one slip, one missed tackle, one gallant Gallic effort, and it could go the other way.
Well, they have to concentrate defensively as well to the Catalans, because what they can't do is not expect Hull to challenge them again. Of course they can challenge them in the lead.
Here's Yeaman.
It's been the danger play all day. Dummy half running. And again.
Briscoe will have a go. With a line that's well set. Henderson's there, 2 more as well.
Onside, Leon. Wait. Go, 4.
Houghton. Miller back on the inside to Whiting. Whiting tracking well. Ellis was there, he's got it away. As Whiting to Westerman. And that was the 5th.
Oh, boys.
Big play for Hull this. Ball behind.
Miller. It's an intelligent kick. Not offside. Well, an intelligent kick's only good if the chase is good, and the chase was a little too opportunistic, wasn't it? They got there too soon. Set off too soon.
6 minutes. Got to go the length of the field. Plenty of time.
Giroud's kick. Well, how about that for length?
That helps, doesn't it?
Massive kick from Scott Giroud. And a massive lift in noise from the Catalan supporters, who know that it's not far away from being one final fling. Pelissier. Here's Teya. This is Millard. John Wilkin in the studio will have painful memories of Catalan's ability to score late tries to win games, when they did it against St. Helens last season. That was in the last few seconds. 5 minutes is a lifetime. Here comes Giroud again, on the step. Tickle. doing enough to make sure he slowed him down, and Lynch completing the tackle. Here comes Price. Escarre. Running into a bumping shoulder. Last tackle coming up. Giroud. Giroud with a kick into that in-goal area. Crooks, all he can do is take the ball, and all he can do is take the tackle, drop it underneath the sticks.
Can they hang on? Can they hang on, Dave? Well, this is the excitement part of this game. It hasn't been a brilliantly skillful game, but it's so tense with the closeness of it, and that's probably the errors and the field position. And
well, you look at that whole body language, the way those players lined up behind the dead ball line there, lined up behind the goal line there, and Peter Gentle would have seen that and maybe worried, because that body language suggested this is a team that has given absolutely everything today, and they have. But with 4 minutes left to go, they've still got to give a little bit more.
That's a great kick.
Can they? Back to the well for the Hull defenders. Back to the well for a little more inspiration and effort, knowing that a challenge is coming their way again here. Catalan have 5 tackles and 40 yards to cover. Henderson. This now is Pelissier. Here's Giroud. Back to Price. Is there a big play from him left in this game?
This timing's a little bit out for the Catalan, isn't it?
Muniz with the step. O'Mealy round the legs. You're running no further. Here comes Price. Tear. They're two tired teams. Heavyweights on the ropes together. In the dying seconds of the round. For whom will the bell toll? It's Giroud's kick. It's Lineman got a touch. It's kept alive. The flag's up. What does the referee give here? Who's the feed, he asks.
Turnover.
Turnover. Hull survive again.
I think they're going to survive. I think they're going to survive. Yeah, he's in touch.
3 minutes to go, and I tell you, whichever of these sides gets through this, and if either get to Wembley, they will have faced no bigger effort, no bigger challenge than they faced here today. It's been relatively easy for Catalan so far in this competition, against Hunslet in the 4th round and York in the 5th. 142 points they racked up in total. A little harder for the whole team, who had to beat Wakefield in the last round. But it's just got a little bit easier for Hull, because a penalty gives them a chance to clear again.
I think he dropped the ball as well.
There's Miller with a kick. Well, the Catalan fans are as quiet as they've been all day.
Well, they know they'll only get one more go with the ball, the Catalans, and the way they've been playing.
Here's O'Mealy. Solidly smashing it forward, keeping that ball safe to his chest. That's the main objective. Now it's Westerman. There's no fancy down stuff here from Hull.
Doesn't need to be actually kicking the sideline as well and walking to the scrum.
4 or 5 drives and a kick, get it downfield. Here's Miller, offering it, then tries to take them on. Oh, he has lost it. He has lost it. 90 seconds left to play. 90 seconds for Challenge Cup fortunes to be made or broken. And Danny Houghton, a man of the match today here. The Tetley's Challenge Cup man of the match. And what a deserved recipient he's been.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely unbelievable work rate, but he's made the 3 incisive breaks that have brought points every time for Hull, and he's been the difference between the team. Him and Briscoe, I think, have been the difference.
So here we go. This, in all likelihood, will be the last set of 6 that Catalan have their hands on the ball. 5 more tackles for Hull to make. Here's Tay. Apologies, by the way, if you were offended by the language there we heard from the scrum, but trying circumstances, we do apologise. Here comes Henderson. That's 3. 3 more tackles for Hull to make, and a semi-final place surely beckons. Menzies now. Oh, he's lost it. They don't have to make the 3 tackles. They don't have to make them. All they have to do now is keep hold of the ball. Head and feet at the scrum. It will be their possession, and it should be their cup tie.
Absolutely.
Steve Menzies, of all the players. Well, the last time the Hull fans came to Catalan, they left in utter despair at their side's performance. Tonight they will be dancing away from this stadium.
Let's go, boys. Listen to the out call. Stay close.
45 seconds to go. The average length of time, more or less, for a set of 6 to take place.
No.
Hull will not be hurried.
No, it's release.
They will take their time.
Let go. Ball's out. Go.
Here's Briscoe. Running it in and taking it down.
Move. Back.
Yeaman at dummy half. 25 seconds to go.
3. Move.
3 gone. 3 more tackles to go. This will be Ellis.
4.
Well, Catalan utterly frustrated here because all they can do is make their tackles and hope for a Hull mistake. It's unlikely to happen. It might even get better for Hull. It might even get better for Hull. Yeaman throws it on the inside. Shannon McDonnell makes absolutely sure. There are Catalan fans applauding that from Hull FC because it was a final moment of magic that gets them into a semi-final.
A brilliant break. Yeaman this time shows the advantage of running out dummy half on this tiring Catalan team, and McDonnell, as all fullbacks should be, backing up. Here he goes. Great finish to the game and a great victory for Hull. And they've done it the tough way, haven't they?
Absolutely no doubt about that. Absolutely no doubt about that. What a performance. Well, they're 80 minutes away from Wembley, the ground they famously have never won at. Is 2013 going to be lucky for Hull FC? They're in it with London. Tomorrow we find out whether it'll be Warrington or Huddersfield. And Wigan and Widnes do battle on Monday night. But if any game is as tense as this, it will be a good one, won't it? Any of those final 2 quarter-finals.
Absolutely. This has been tense for the wrong reasons. We haven't seen flowing, fabulous football, have we? In essence, Hull have run better out of dummy half and exploited the holes around the ruck on the Catalan team, and Catalan just couldn't hold on the ball for long enough periods. Didn't look threatening, and that's testament to Hull's defence as well. I thought they were magnificent today, and that's brought them home. They've counter-punched every opportunity. Yeaman out of dummy half, keeps his legs pumping, and McDonnell on the inside backs up. Deserved win for Hull, you have to say.
Well, the effort has been enormous from both sides, but especially hats off to Hull. The defence on their own try line in the dying embers of the game. 3 or 4 sets of 6 they defended on that line absolutely heroically. And I think we're going to be hearing from Peter